Well, greetings, fans, hyper fans, and people just lost looking for videos of cats. This is more people than I expected to turn up. So, welcome to my first ever live stream. I asked everybody on Twitter what they wanted me to do, and it was a mixture of votes, but it kind of split between making an SD Gundam and doing some custom work on a figure. Now, I'm still kind of learning my setup, so I thought this might actually be more interesting because it will probably involve me swearing less and less running off and waiting for paints and glues to dry. So, what are we going to do today? So, this guy was something I picked up in China 2008. It's an SD kit based on the Legends of the Three Kingdoms. This is Cao Cao, who is kind of seen as the bad guy of the entire epic, but he's also he's kind of the smart villain. So he was the kind that I always go for. If you've come to me from the Transformers stuff, you know that I absolutely love Megatron. I've got a big collection of 80s villain toys. So I really love this figure. As you might be able to tell, especially looking at the horns, he's getting a little bit old. I lost a few bits and pieces along the way, and I was sent a replacement one. And since it's the last day of Spring Festival, so it's the Lantern Festival, I thought it kind of made sense to do. So if you haven't done one of these kits before, they come on several sprues. Unfortunately, I didn't get any nice box art with this one. Instructions are on a single sheet, but the other side of it is a kind of cool comic as well, and I do like the artwork on these. There's obviously so much more detail on the painted up and Gundam markered ones, but I'm not going to subject you to me doing the full set. I'm just going to be putting this together. I know some people do things like the perfect grade Gundams, and no one's got time to watch a live stream on that. It's a little bit scary doing a live stream, because I don't have all of that benefit of editing out my ums and long pauses. And we've got a Gemma watching. Hey Gemma. So this is a domestic licensed version, which is not the same as a knockoff. But it does mean the quality is a little bit different. I've already trimmed a couple of parts out because I did that for the trailer for my channel. It's quite nice that you've got these dual molded plastics, actually triple molded in that one. I mean, I could just sort of take off that one missing piece and do that, but where's the fun in that? It's also got some different colours in this, like the gold. The gold on this is so much nicer. It's a lot less orange. The burgundy plastic, I'm not sure how well it's coming off on the camera, but it's sort of got this slightly metallic sheen to it, so that's very cool. The stickers kind of survived travel, I guess, so we'll see how that goes. Right. Okay, so we'll start with the face, which is the white. I'm not going to bother with the stickers for the face for the moment. Comes with two different sets of eyes, but I don't know which one to put on. I'll probably put on sort of the one that's not that set, so that I can swap them out later. The idea is I am going to swap my favourite bits of each of these, so I end up with one over-the-top very cool figure. That way those people who wanted me to modify a kit will also get what they wanted. I'm using just a little pair of snippers because if you don't do that, you end up with these nasty little white marks all over the edge where you've snipped them out or worked them out of the side of the sprues. Okay, so just put these two together. I haven't done a Gundam kit for a really long time. And then just using a little bit of these files came from Games Workshop. I got them free with, I think it was a magazine subscription, but they're just really good for taking off any little bumps and lumps that have been left on there. Okay, so the central chest bit is nope, that's the armour that goes on the chest. We want to get these grey pieces out here. So live streaming's a little bit weird. It's not something that I'd really thought I'd ever be doing, but here I am. It feels a lot more sort of like sitting with you and just being friendly, rather than sort of trying to entertain and inform. So if this is neither entertaining nor informing, sorry. There's also all this dead space, which I guess is kind of the point, that this is slow TV. And if you accidentally say something, you're kind of stuck with it. But I'm not going to be talking about any funny tinged plastics. That was dreadful, wasn't it? So yeah, I probably shouldn't talk too much about politics, but oh, it's scary. I wake up every morning to Radio 4 because I'm that sort of a person, and I'm angry before I've even had my morning coffee. Oh. See, I really like just how that looks. I'd be quite happy to have like a row of those on display stands, just looking cool. Okay, so the arms are white plastic with shoulder pieces, which are on sprue A2. So they're supposed to be on there. Oh, again, grey plastic. Yeah. And Gemma knows Macula without coffee is not a good thing. I've actually done a couple of all-nighters to do some writing stuff, so I'm kind of running on empty at the moment, but I'm stuck with non-caffeinated drinks. So boy, did I pick the right time to do a live stream, huh? So what were the other options that I put on that poll? Modding a figure, doing Lego, and stickering up one of the Transformers I've already covered on the channel. I think this is the one that's going to have me swearing less. More of these polycaps. By the way, if anybody has got any spare ones of these, they just want to donate for me making figures, let me know. Okay, so I'm supposed to be just doing these one arm at a time, but I don't want to do them one arm at a time. I know how to make one side, I can make the other. I know that makes it a shorter video, but is that such a bad thing? Okay, so we've got the arms squeezing in on ball sockets, and then hard ball sockets getting into these weird tubes on the torso. So I used to make these all the time when I was in China. Pretty much every month I got a pay packet. I'd be straight down to not sort of the big toy shops, but just little places on the back street where there'd be. You'd have noodles at the front, just like the UFO cups, and then as you go further back, there'd be the useful stuff like mops and buckets and duvet covers. Then you get to the back, and there would just be rows upon rows of Gundam boxes and cards hanging on the wall with. Oh, what was really big at the time? Little model weapons. So stuff like Counter-Strike guns and the swords from Storm Riders. And yeah, I could have probably spent all of my money in those stores. But, you know, food, rent, all those dull things. Okay, let's get a couple of hands for them. So I've got some hand choices here. I'm going to go for the nice outstretched one. So I'm probably going to watch this back and be really shocked at how bad my camera work is on this. Like I said, it's the first time I've done this. It's a weird space that I'm working in. So the room that I'm in at the moment, which is the Macula, used to be a garage, and I've just been able to work on it. Okay, let's try with the right hand. No, it's stuck. Wouldn't be live if I didn't make a couple of mistakes. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so this room used to be a garage, but it's now kind of my workshop, my studio, all my toys are in here. And I've been able to design it the way that I want, and I honestly feel so good in this place, but I'm still kind of learning the best way of using it. So I have said on any post that I've put out talking about this, I've said this is going to be bad. So feel free to heckle. Right. Head, body, left arm, right arm. Apparently we do the feet next. I thought you'd been doing the crotch, but okay, so there's the feet. So I've currently got this set up with, so this camera is an old iPhone. And I've just got that plugged in to the power, and it's streaming over Wi-Fi. But then I've got my computer screen in front of me up there, so I'm watching what I'm doing, but it's on a 5-second delay. But it also means I get to see what comments are being made. And at the moment we have a very vocal Gemma, who is also on Twitter as Ferret14, and she makes absolutely gorgeous plushies. And there was a good Nightmare Fuel picture on Twitter earlier in the week of about 4 Kanto starter Pokemon all stitched together, and I loved it. It was so cute and so adorable, and I tagged Gemma in that picture, and she has very kindly offered to make me one if I could come up with the figures, which I did in about 30 seconds, and I'm having those posted straight to her, so hopefully they'll go through, and if Gemma's got the time, I will end up with an absolutely gorgeous sort of stitched Franken Pokemon. And we've already decided that it's probably the X form of Mimikyu, because it's just me. I think it's absolutely adorable. I think Gemma and her husband think it's an abomination. Okay. Legs. Oh, we've got to put some toe decorations on there. So that's on a 2. Like this one. Nothing there looks like it's toe decorations. Well, that's A1, that's why. Okay, so they're gold boots. I'm not using my snippers, am I? They're actually sort of coming out very smoothly. Okay, so you just want to make sure that I've got the right way round. Hey, they're looking good. Should we just have a look at my old one? So yeah, these are a little bit more complex than the first release. So yeah, that's cool. And now I'm supposed to be doing the crotch armor, so that's back to this one. So a lot of people ask why I do so much around Chinese New Year and stuff. So apart from the fact that my partner is Chinese, she's actually a translator and does lots of very cool articles and stuff on Chinese pop culture. I used to live out there. Spent a couple of years out there studying Chinese. Horrid to say that I've forgotten so much of it, but this was a big European exchange program, and I had absolutely no chance of getting onto it. But it was advertised in the back of, I think it was The Economist, and somebody handed it to me saying, "Oh, you should get into this." And I was working for an anime company at the time, and China were really big on animation. I didn't think that I'd get into it, but I filled in the application, I did all the paperwork, and the moment I got an invite to go to the interviews, I was absolutely convinced it was a scam. I had to go to a hotel in Belgium, and there were people from all over Europe applying for it. But I did it because I thought, maybe I'll have a nice day out in Belgium. It was just before, Christmas, so there were markets and things. I thought, yeah, okay, I can go. I'll do that. That sounds like it could be a fun day out. But then they accepted me, so I absolutely knew it must be a scam. And I have to say, it was so outside my comfort zone that I was terrified of making the leap. But it's probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Okay, so there we have. Yeah, he's actually starting to look like a robot now. Okay, so let's shuffle all of this down. And we are putting some armor on him. Okay. So the instructions tell you to put the pauldrons together first and then push down components with a solid beat. So I guess what they mean is to make them up and then click them on, but I'm not gonna follow the instructions. See, that's what happens when you don't snip through. Okay, so what I'm going to do is sort of put that into place, put the other side on, then pinch them together in situ. Which completely didn't work, so let's try it the other way. Okay, that's on there. Okay. So if I compare that to the first release one, this is kind of a little bit more wuxia. So that's like the fantasy stuff rather than like your military history. Okay. Ooh. Let's try the other side. Go on, you thing. I think that's the closest I've come to swearing so far. I have to say, I'm really liking the colours on this guy. Okay, so what else have I got to put on next? Oh, he's got these little arm covers. Okay, and how do these go on? These just slide on over these little notches. Kind of feel like I haven't really given myself enough room. So I've kind of been hammering the channel a little bit. I haven't done videos for 2 years, and now I've got like 5 or 6 out in a couple of weeks. I'm just kind of excited about getting back to this. I spent quite a long time just sort of going and doing real world stuff. I'm not really doing a lot to help myself out. Nothing creative. I definitely came to the conclusion that that's not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's one of those things that if you don't do it, nothing else is gonna replace what that does for you. Okay, so these just slide in. There. So the whole line, this whole line's kind of very modular. So the idea is that you have one set of armor with each figure, but you can swap bits over. Let's get the collar on next. At the moment this is sort of pretty basic, and there's not a lot that makes it salsa. Oh, that was the interesting thing about these. This isn't Gundam versions of the characters from Three Kingdoms. They're not new characters. They're actually Gundams in cosplay. So this is apparently Gundam X cosplaying as Cao Cao. Now they say that we put that through, but I'm just going to take the head off and give myself a bit more clearance. And since I'm pulling the head off, I'm actually going to take the helmet off of that one, pull the head off, and see if I can put that head on there. A, it saves me time having to sticker that up, and B, because it's got the lighter red there, it's got the proper Gundam beard on it. What's that? Andy likes the Guan Yu one. Yeah, the Guan Yu... I've got that on my shelf. I can't really get to it at the moment. But I will see if I can find out which Gundam that is, either before the end of the live stream, or I will send you a message with it. Okay, so we've now got some chest armor to put on. Now on the original one, I think it's the same chest armor. Yeah, it's the same shaped chest armor on the original, but that's an additional piece and that one's just molded in, so that's cool. If I can actually get it to sit in. Right, so now I have to do the helmet. So there's a teeny tiny piece. There we go. That just lets you plug the helmet into the hole on the head. Slips down. So okay, tiny bit into the middle. I mean, considering that this is not the Japanese home molded version, I'm actually very impressed with the quality of the plastic. This is a thing that only YouTube toy reviewers will ever talk about. And I may do a sort of proper review video just talking about all the different types of plastic and why they feel different. And okay, we're getting there. Okay, so I've got to put they're locked together. There we go. Okay, so the crest. I have to cut that one out very carefully because it does get super spindly in the corners. So that one goes. Now this time it actually covers up the white bits, which is a good idea because it means they're not going to keep on falling off. It does mean I've got to do those first so I don't end up having to take everything apart again. Okay, so how do these go in? How do these go in? I was dead sure that they go in through those holes, but I may be wrong. apparently they clip onto the back of here. Which they do. And then that whole thing goes on there. Oh, that's very cool. Actually, I'm just going to pop the head on the helmet back on that one so I can compare. So yeah, it's definitely got the same kind of look to it, but this is sort of definitely powered up. Okay, so now we have to put the gem in, and the gem is... Okay, I found something that I don't like. The gem on this version is just another piece of this brown. That's dreadful. So we are going to steal this see-through one off of here, if I can get to it. I'm not cutting this off, I'm just squeezing it off. And seeing if I can find the little silver sticker that's supposed to go underneath it. And it's there, but these stickers are not kiss cut very well. Okay, so this goes on this tiny piece. Of all the tools that I knew I had to get ready for this, I forgot tweezers. But okay. This one doesn't have to be like super straight because it is going to have another piece put over it, and it is just to make the jewel a bit more reflective. Now we cross our fingers and hope that this will actually fit on there. Which it does! Sort of. Yeah, that's looking good. That is looking good. Okay, so we've done the helmet, we've done the arms, we've done the armor. So he's kind of done as he is. But we are now building the last couple of pieces. So on the first one, he had this really cool cloak, which I really loved. On this one, he has an accessory called the Tyrant's Phoenix Wing. So let's just trim out these nice silver metallic bits. Actually, once I've got that one clipped, I just want to see if I can pick this up on camera. So it's a silver metallic, but it's like a little bit pearlescent, and it's as though there's two different types of plastic swirled in together, and it's got like a glitter pigment in it as well, so that's really cool and really over the top. Okay, so these bigger types are one type, and there are these smaller wings. I'm just trying to look at the instructions and work out which way round they go. Okay, so that side. And is that for the same side? Yes, no, maybe. There we go. All the bits are numbered, but I'm kind of just going by the pictures at the moment. Okay, so that one was easy to cut out. So I put... Yeah. That there. Does that look right? That's apparently how it goes. So let's get that last piece out. Okay, that's everything trimmed out now. And that goes onto there. And then there's a slot in the back. Which that's supposed to go into. So that's sort of full-on Wing Zero custom angel feathers. Yeah, I like that. It says that you can also take them off of the backpack and just put them straight onto the shoulder armour, which I guess gives him a bit more, it's sort of being like a cape. I do like them all up like that, but I've not got a huge amount of space. So let's take those off. If I put that together wrong, I've probably put that together wrong. But you know, there's nothing to say you can't put it together how you want. They're your deadly armor wings. Put together your deadly little armor wings however you want your happy little deadly armor wings to go together. So yeah, the last thing that's left to give him is some way of standing up straight. I think the wings are definitely heavier than most of the backpacks on these guys. And they are usually guys. There's a couple of female Gundam figures. The last one of these I got was a Diao Chan. That was kind of cool. So there, I'm just going to put that. That should help him stand up straight. Cool. And then he's got this big sort of saber with all these serrated edges. Now that's the sword that pretty much every version of these has come with, which means that not only can I give him does not want to go through the hand. I mean, on this one I've used a slightly more open hand. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the pommel of the hilt and just try and thin it down a little bit. And see if that'll go through. It does. So, I think I'm definitely going to be upgrading this guy to this one, putting him back on my shelf, and thank you for joining me for my first live feed. I'm going to go back and review this myself. If you've got any comments on what you think I could do better next time, please leave them after this. You can still comment after this as... Well, what's the like? You can still comment on this after it's just being there as a video rather than live stream. And thanks for sticking with me. I will be back to my reviews, and I've got a couple of other videos planned, but again, I don't really want to talk about them until I've got it all nailed down. So usually here I hesitate for ages trying to remember what I'm supposed to be saying. Things like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications of my next video, and until next time, if you're keeping the mint in package, you're not a toy collector, you're a box collector.